This is my 1997 Ford Taurus Wagon LX. I've owned it for 6 months. This is the 6-month update. I'm just gonna talk about it, and it's like, forgive my ADD because like I cannot keep on track of what I'm doing, but we're just gonna talk about it. My beautiful beater here, my beautiful bean. This is a beautiful bean. It's an LX. It has the Duratec motor, 3.0 V6. It has about 300 something thousand miles. It's been incredibly reliable for me. Not too many problems have gone wrong since I bought it. Which I bought it September 21st, 2025 off of a guy on Facebook Marketplace who was a gym instructor who would haul gym equipment in the back of this thing. But he got it in late 23, early 24 from an old lady who bought this new in 97 from D. Patrick Ford. And it's an interesting spec a little bit. It's kind of interesting because it's kind of base. There aren't many options besides the fact that it's an LX. There was 3 trim levels for the Taurus in 97, which is the G, which was incredibly base model. Like, it was the cheapest model, it was like 19 grand or something. Then you had the GL, which is the normal trim. And then you had the LX, which was the luxury trim. And you had the show too, actually, but this is not the show. There was no show wagons. I don't think there was any G wagons either, but basically the only things that really show that this is an LX trim is, of course, the Duratec. But then also you have these aluminum wheels here that were only available on the LX trim. And yeah. What else should I go into? Oh yeah, it was built in Chicago, and here, let's bring up the build date here. Here's the little thing here. It's built April of 97, so as of today, this month, it is 29 years old. It has a little rust here and there, but it was built in Chicago. The original sticker is still there, which is really cool. So yeah, let's get into it. I bought it for $2,000, or I bought it for $1,500. It was listed for $2,000, but the tires were from the Obama administration from 2013. So they were pretty bald, and winter was coming. So I was like, "Hey, can you bring the price down?" He's like, "Sure, yeah, we'll go $500." And I got it for $1,500. I had to put new tires on for about $500. So that was $2,000 into it. And I've spent a little more money on fluids. It does leak oil. It leaks a little coolant, a little power steering. So I have to replace those every once in a while. Let's open up the hood here. We'll get into the interior soon because it's very cool. But let's check out under the hood first. We have first of all, I had to replace those because they were broken, but here's the Duratec, the wonderful Duratec. Some people say it's a good engine, some people say it's a bad engine. I think if these are maintained properly, they can run for a long time. I've seen a lot of them with like 300,000 miles, 250,000 miles. So, and I've driven this car for about 3,000 miles over 6 months. But yeah, new battery, oil, coolant, all that stuff. It has the AX4N transmission, which is the better transmission over the AX4S, which came with the Vulcan 3.0 V6. They're two 3.0 V6s, which was honestly, I think, kind of stupid. But this one has 200 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque compared to the Vulcan with like the 140 or something horsepower. So yeah, the guy before me had to replace the steering rack. He had to do some other stuff like that, and this sensor, whatever it was. But he didn't have to do much to it after he bought it in 24. He bought it when it had 130,000 miles. That's all Grandma had put on in that like 25 years. And he put around 70,000 well, wait, no, 60,000 miles on it in like a year and a half. So, and he had gotten a Grand Marquis, and he upgraded. So he passed this down to me, and I have it now. So yeah, big issues with this car that I haven't replaced, but it's still really good. I had to replace a headlight. Okay, I remember that. I had to flush out the coolant system because the guy was putting water in instead of coolant, and I had to put new coolant in. the motor mounts are bad in this, sadly, and they are expensive to replace, and they're very hard to replace. I think there's one down there that's just very tough to replace. So I definitely have to have a mechanic do that. Back valve cover is bad. Front one's iffy. That's where the oil leaks from, which is causing problems. That's possibly caused one of the motor mounts to go bad. But sometimes you can feel it, sometimes you can't. It's just lucky. I did an oil change and it's been feeling better lately. But yeah, that's under the hood. What else doesn't work? AC doesn't work, never has. I have a theory that it's because the heat only comes through defrost. And so I have a theory that there's this vacuum line that runs, and that controls like where it goes, and it also controls if there's AC. So the AC might work, it's just that vacuum line that needs to be fixed. Windshield washer fluid has never worked. But besides, power steering works pretty good. It does leak, and I think it's probably pretty low. But yeah, that's under the hood. It's a pretty torquey motor. When you're driving this thing, the motor is very torquey, especially first gear. I drive it pretty slow, but yeah. So this is the wagon, as you know. So there was a sedan body style. It had a blob back window. This also has a blob back window, but the Sable had the exact same body line, same everything here. So if I could find a Sable, I could get parts for this. But yeah. Oh yeah, my friend slammed this when we got it, and it was stuck. So when we were fixing it, he was like tightening these bolts, and this one came out and it won't go back in. It like broke off, so I've had to tape that shut. Oh yeah, one of these was out, so the turn signal, I only had one brake light because the third brake light does not work. Same with the reverse lights. I think it's a fuse or something, I don't know. But yeah, the trunk struts do work though, and I have not replaced those. Now here is another example of why this is kind of base. There's no third seat. This is where the seat belts would go, but as you can see, I'll flip it over, and I can flip it over more with this, but that's where I keep all my fluids and my tools, which is actually really useful. There's a spare there. There's no third seat. She didn't get one, Grandma, when she was either ordering this car, or maybe it was just on the lot this way, but didn't get one, and I have no idea why. But I kind of wish I had one. If I could find one in a junkyard, I'd probably go get it and replace it. But yeah, that's kind of back there. It's very spacious. You can haul a lot of stuff with this thing, so that's very cool. And this window is actually supposed to open, and it does, but because of that, it doesn't really work, and I don't want to use it. And the struts don't work either. Another interesting thing, the lady that owned this lived in a apartment complex where there's like not a fully enclosed garage, you know what I mean? So this part of the car was always sticking out a little bit. That's why the clear coat's gone here and here. But the rest of the car, paint wise and body wise, is pretty good. Not on this side. This is the bad side. As you can see, the clear coat is bad. I don't know what happened here. I wonder if this was just a Ford quality issue or what, but these two fenders, the paint is really bad. And of course, this happened a month ago, the shopping cart incident. Yeah, but it's held together pretty well. So yeah, all the doors work, all the windows work. It's actually really nice. But yeah, let's check out the interior. Check out the interior. I think this car, never mind. The interior on this thing is surprisingly clean. A lot of these cars were really abused. This one is really clean. As you can see, a very nice thing about this generation Taurus, there are no right angles. There are no corners. It is a blob. It is all spherical. There are no corners here, except for, of course, the cassette tape thing. But it's very spherical. It's super cool looking at night when you turn on the lights, which I don't have on right now. But yeah. And another example of the base trim, there's only cassette player. There's a CD button, but no CD changer. One awesome quirk. So yeah, hold on. Here's the miles. One awesome quirk that these are very well known for is the flip fold console. You can have a bench seat, or you can have, oh my God. Oh yeah, that broke the other day too. You can have cup holders and a cassette holder change. It's very cool. icing sets, and they have fallen because this broke off the other day, sadly. But then you have an armrest here. What else is in here that's cool? Parking brake is like loose, so it doesn't work anymore, which kind of sucks. But look at all these ovals. It's very nice. All this radio works, the speakers work, everything works there. I had to replace the blend door actuator because it was broken and it was not giving out heat, but I fixed it before winter. That was nice. But yeah, all of them, you press this and it only comes through defrost, but at least it's heat, you know what I mean? This does have cruise control, and I think most models did. Nice column shifter here. I do like the gauges too, and all the dials and everything. It's actually a fairly comfy car too. It does have power seats, which I think actually was an option that we got. We got power seats. It has lumbar. Pretty nice for 90s. And I mean, cup holders, that was pretty good. What else is there? I need to replace some bulbs in here. The dome light, the dude said, is like causing a draw with the battery, so you had to take it out. But these still work, the reading lights. So there's that. Here's an ashtray, and there's two cigarette lighters. This ashtray, I think this car was smoked it a little bit, not like heavy smoker, but like, you know, a casual smoker. So it doesn't smell that bad either. It's not really bad smelling. Let's go check out the back seat. The power locks are very finicky. That antenna is broken off from a car wash, not me. But here we have the back seats. It's actually pretty roomy. I've had my friends in here. Here's another ashtray. That's all you get back here, by the way. You do not get cup holders or any necessities. There could have been covers here or here, but for some reason she didn't get that. She didn't get a sunroof. She didn't get any of these options that she could have had, but she didn't get them. It's actually pretty basic in the back. It's your power lock thing, but it is what it is. There is a little rust on the rockers, I think from just salt getting in this, but surprisingly this car is incredibly clean underneath. Let me see if I can show it. This car is very clean underneath. It is really not that rusty for what it is. It's incredibly low too, and a lot of these rust out. I just saw one earlier. This fender was like completely out. These struts usually go bad, and for some reason, even though this one has 190, almost 197, it's not rusty. I got really lucky with that. So I guess you just didn't drive it in the winter. But yeah, might as well, I guess, start it up here. I'm just gonna start it. So you guys can hear this. Car's like a charm. Oh gosh, hold on. God damn. Why is that so loud? Duct tape job there is amazing. The back seat belts don't work either. Let's see here. So you get two cup holders, but this is weird. I don't know what this is for. It's just a random circle. They're like, you know, let's put an oval here. We'll do a little test drive because it runs really good. It's a very quiet motor. So column shift. And it does need motor mount, so that's hard sometimes to do, but. And the transmission usually shifts pretty good, but sometimes it's iffy. So. I'll turn on the lights here so you can see that. These really light up really cool, but yeah, it actually shifts pretty smooth most of the time. I think sometimes it doesn't because of the motor mount problem. That is an issue. But besides that, this thing has been incredibly reliable. It has never let me down. It was dead one morning, like I hadn't driven it in 2 weeks, and it was sitting, and I couldn't start it, but I just jumped it. It was fine. Yeah. And I've been dailying it. In the winter, it was amazing. This thing is incredibly heavy in the front. And so, because of that, plus the heaviness and the torquiness, this thing is great in the snow. It's incredibly good in the snow. The struts and the shocks squeak. There's a sway bar noise too, which is kind of annoying. I think one of the sway bars is kind of loose. But besides that, the suspension's pretty good. It's just a little squeaky. But, yeah. What else? I don't really drive it like crazy or fast either. Like, I don't floor it at every intersection. I've heard that's bad on these transmissions. Even though this is the upgraded transmission, it is still a Ford transmission for the IDs. Obviously, you want to be careful with it. I don't want to ruin it. I need this car. I've been dailying it since about January. It's now April, and it's still doing a really good job. I do want to take it on a road trip, but I'm a little nervous. I kind of want to get those valve cover gaskets, because when I start it some mornings, it has a lifter tick. Pretty bad one sometimes, and you know, maybe if I get that valve cover gasket done, it would be better. So yeah, you really do not see these 90s Tauruses on the roads, and I think they're actually pretty reliable. I think they were all used up after Cash for Clunkers. They weren't like destroyed in Cash for Clunkers, but I think they were the cheapest cars available, and they were all used and abused and beaten. And I think that's why you really don't see third gens anymore, because fourth gens are everywhere. And I've seen on Facebook, like, they're pretty reliable cars. And I think that they were just used up, and you know, that is what it is. But it has power mirrors, and that one still works even after hitting the shopping cart, so that's nice. And power, that kind of stuff. But it's still very base model. It has this just the gray. It's a silver frost metallic as the exterior. The interior is also gray. You could have got cooler colors like rose mist or red, or I like the green. I wish I had the green. But this is all you really get. One weird quirk. Why does it say the mic? Hold on. You see the microscope here, there? It says the microscope number. It's 2653. Why do I need to see that? I'm like, I don't know why that's there, so that's interesting. But this thing could have had more options, and it didn't. So Grandma was trying to just save some money, I guess. I don't know. I think we'll probably just do a little 0 to 60 test soon, maybe in a second. I don't know. Hold on. Actually, yeah. Let's go do a 0 to 60 real fast. I'm not gonna floor it. I've never put the throttle all the way down in this car because I'm afraid of that transmission exploding. But we'll get a good little, like, half throttle maybe. I don't know. Probably gonna have to wait here a second, so we'll talk a little more about my experiences. What else has happened with this car? It just hasn't given me issues. It started in like -2 degree weather this winter. It just did a really good job this winter, getting me to work at school. I use one of these, or Vistas, to Bluetooth, and these are really good devices. This is for CD changer, which I don't have. When you press CD, it just says no CD. No. So that's kind of interesting. You have AM, FM, tune, scan, seek. You can change it. It's just all little circles. It's very ergonomic too. Like, you can always reach it. It's pretty good actually. So I can feel it in the steering wheel and the brake pedal that it is the motor mounts